Hi there guys, I just thought I'd do a quick little video just to explain how to maximize your performance on the GTX 1650 mobile. Because I've had a couple of viewers that have said, look, I've only got 8 gigs of RAM and my FPS is quite low. So now I'll just go to my settings quickly, I'll show you. Here we go. So display and graphics, first and foremost you want to play an exclusive full screen. You might, if you're suffering with performance, you might want to switch off VSync. I like it because it just improves the picture quality a little bit. If you're on a GTX 1650 mobile, I highly recommend that you use AMD FSR 2.0. You can even go balanced, but I use quality. I like the image quality to be as good as possible. Bit of a visual slat. So I like things to look as good as possible. And then in graphics, so now for people that are only have 8 gigs of RAM on their system, what I recommend is all these extra things that obviously they're GPU intensive, but then there's certain settings that are CPU intensive. So now once you're only playing on 8 gigs of RAM, in the top left hand corner you see under Intel Core i5-10200H. So your CPU usage, if you only got 8 gigs of RAM, your CPU usage is going to go up. So the things that are going to affect your CPU are the level of detail, the traffic density, the crowd density, the hair quality, all these geometry features over here. So I'd recommend, if you're on 8 gigs of RAM, either put it medium or low. I'm playing, as you can see, these affect your CPU, and then these settings over here affect your GPU. So I don't really have such a strong CPU. I've got i5-10200H, so I just put everything on medium here. But then on my GPU, because I am using FSR 2.0, I do have a little bit more headroom, I think. So I put my texture quality to high. Texture filtering, I always put it as high as possible. Even if I lose a little bit of performance, I want things to look as good as possible. Shadow quality high. Ambient occlusion, I always go the highest setting. And then screen space reflections, I put that on because obviously it's a very visually stunning game. I want everything to look as good as possible. But if you're only on 8 gigs of RAM, I'd reckon put all these settings over here to low as possible. And then if you're still struggling in the 30s or 40s, ambient occlusion you can either set to SSAO, or you can actually just switch it off. It's going to give you, because obviously this filters or this ambient occlusion obviously is in the shadows, so it's shading in shadows, or I don't know how to explain it properly, but it just creates depth in shadows. So screen space reflections, switch this off. This is going to give you a little bit of extra performance, especially if you're gaming on 8 gigs. Shadow quality, definitely want to set it to if you're trying to get 60 FPS, definitely set it to medium. I like my shadows looking better, so I just put it to high. Texture filtering, I don't think it really affects this game so much, to be honest. I might be mistaken. So 16 times, it looks better, it doesn't really impact much. Texture quality, if you're struggling with FPS, you're getting 30 or 40 FPS, bump this down to medium. So anyways, look, I hope that does help a little bit. So I'm just gonna, as you can see, I've capped my FPS to 60. So obviously, okay, let me just go and check quickly. So you see all these, this you obviously set via MSI Afterburner, but then to get this onto MSI Afterburner, you have to run RiverTuner statistics. So I cap my in-game FPS to 60 FPS via RiverTuner, and then what I do is I drop all my settings as low as I can go, and then obviously it's going to shoot up to 60 FPS. And then what I do is I go to settings, and then I manually go through all these different settings, and I set everything as high as possible. And then once I see it's starting to really dip below 60, then I just change the settings here, so I can at least maintain 60 or slightly below, but then also get the best picture quality possible. Anyways, I hope that sort of does help in terms of getting the best performance, but then also getting the best visual fidelity. But yeah, and then another thing, I think this game is very well optimized. But one thing I noticed, the longer you play, you're going to see at the moment it's using 10 gigs of RAM. But if you play for longer than half an hour to an hour, I don't think the RAM is being managed properly in this game just as of yet. God of War also had the same problem. So if you played for over an hour or two, it would actually go over your 16 gigs RAM. This would start using more than 16 gigs of RAM, and the games would start crashing. So I think, yeah, they're probably going to release a patch in the next couple of days or a week or so, just to address RAM management. Because the longer you play, you'll notice that your RAM's going to 14, 15 gigs. So I think that's also a little bit performance issue. But yeah, guys, yeah, anyways, thanks for watching. If you got any questions, please hit me up in the comment section. If you haven't subbed to the channel just yet, please go ahead and do so. I'm looking to grow my channel. I'm looking to be an official YouTuber by the end of the year, so please go ahead and smash that like button and attack the subscribe button. But most importantly, enjoy your web swing.